I don't understand why the entire world hates me. It hates me so much.
Heaven's Feel takes a darker turn compared to other routes in the series. It tackles themes of sacrifice, love, and consequences of one's choices. It represents a more ambiguous landscape. The characters face internal struggles and grapple with difficult decisions that impact their relationship and the view of the world around them. So, Heaven's Feel, unlike the other two adaptations, is split into 3 movies, and it's honestly one of the best pieces of media I've consumed till date. Heaven's Feel goes into a much more mature and serious turn by shedding light on one of its most tragic characters in the series, Sakura Mato. The cruel backstory and journey of Sakura Mato, the central character, forms the emotional core of Heaven's Feel. The exploration of Sakura's character and her transformation throughout the story resonates with the viewers, and it evokes a sense of emotion and investment in her fate. Heaven's Feel's first movie, The Presaged Flower, starts off slow and calm, almost as though it's a high budget slice of life anime. Its main focus is on the relationship between Shiro and Sakura. It shows them going to school together, cooking, and doing laundry, making us almost forget the story route Fate takes. Almost. More than forget, it's a conscious choice of ignoring the fact that Fate takes the route of a war. Because seeing the way the two interact is so pure and wholesome that something so horribly contrasting isn't something you'd wish upon them. But like any sweet dream, we have a rude awakening to reality in the second movie, The Lost Butterfly. The Lost Butterfly, unlike the other Fate routes, doesn't focus on any of the ideals of the servants or masters. In fact, it slaughters and kills most of its characters like their sacrificial pawns. But I think it is necessary, not because it increases the focus on the main two, but deliberately shows the insignificance of these ideals. For if it cannot save you or your loved ones, what is the point of these ideals? It draws a focus on the abuse Sakura has faced and what it does to a person, not only in the way that they interact with others, but also how it shapes their self-worth. A lot of the time, abuse in shows and televisions is used as a convenient plot point to make a character more interesting, or to create a reason for the male protagonist to save or protect their love interest. It strips the character in question of their autonomy, further solidifying the feeling of objectification and the lack of control a victim feels over their sense of self, and thus making the viewers forget the key point that these characters are based on real life trauma. There are actual human beings undergoing this level of trauma inflicted on them. On dealing with such sensitive topics, there should be a level of dignity and thoughtfulness. Not only because it can be a triggering topic for observers who have undergone something similar, but also when done properly, if not respectfully, can aid in the healing process of the victims. The Lost Butterfly, although not perfectly, tries to bring focus of the weight of it from the victim's perspective, not in the narrative of a savior, not in the voice of the abuser, or not in the perspective of the onlooker, but in the actions and psychosis of its victim. Sakura has undergone years of abuse from the ones closest to her. Let it be her father who gave her away, Zolkin using her to gain power, or Shinji using her in any vile or disgusting way to overcome his inferiority complex. Sakura has always been disrespected and humiliated like her existence was worth nothing. Such levels of abuse ate away at her sense of self and unfortunately made her descend into a state of self-loathing and hysteria. She feels that she is unworthy of Shiro's love. She believes that she is the reason for her abuse, that she somehow managed to bring this in her life because of some mistake that she has made. A common response seen in victims of abuse. Unraveling the weight of everything Sakura has to deal with evokes a need to relieve her of her pain and making it understandable why Shiro is ready to throw everything away for her and to choose to be by her side even when the world and Sakura herself antagonizes her. It not only invokes a sense of need to protect Sakura in the viewers but also Shiro. But ultimately, I feel that the fight is of Sakura's, not Shiro's. Shiro acts as her pillar of support and her home of comfort, but he shouldn't be the one yielding the sword for her. Rather, he should be the one providing strength for her to raise the sword, empowering her, thus leading us to the final part, the spring song. The spring song addresses Sakura's mental state as the villain, fighting to grasp the shred of humanity left within her, yet feels so powerful on accepting the Holy Grail to take control of her. She claims to be powerful and for the first time in her life have no one to control her. But at the same time, she seeks out help from people who she trusts to pull her out of this demise. It's seen in her interaction with Shiro in the scene where she comes to take Ilya away, or the time that she quite painfully cries and tells Rin about the constant state of abuse that she has faced in the Mato family, hoping that one day Rin would come to save her. All this goes to show that under all these layers of antagonism, there is a Sakura that we've grown to love. Spring Song serves as an impactful conclusion to the Fate's Heavensfield story arc. It shows that the accumulation of emotional journeys of Sakura, Shiro, and other characters offer closure and catharsis for the viewers. With its stunning visuals, intense action sequence, and powerful storytelling, the Spring Song brings the Fate Heavensfield trilogy to a satisfying and emotionally resonant finale. Heavensfield shows that these ideals and core values that we stand by are insignificant if we cannot save our loved ones. Superficially, it may seem selfish to reject humanity to protect your loved one, but life is far more grey than black and white. There are several layers of complexity people experience, and their actions cannot be categorized into good or bad based on some cut and dry terms that we are taught. Situations are far more convoluted than what it seems to be on the outside. And for us to get a superficial idea on what it is and give our verdict is so ignorant and cold. The Fate series drives that realization home, challenging our core values and introducing new perspectives and sides we haven't seen before. It can seem messy and uncomfortable, but ultimately that's what a person is. Some having it far worse than the rest, mainly due to the factors that can't be controlled. Hence, is it our place to define a person's morality without knowing the result of their action is a product of their cruel fate?